when people saw the video of the mall, of the lady protecting her child, and just also saw just how uncaring the people in there that were shooting the guns had for any human life whatsoever. I stood up here right after the shooting happened and said we were going to make some arrests, and we have made some arrests, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about those that we're still looking for. Ask the community and ask the people that were involved in it to help us. The community did help us out tremendously, identifying who was involved in it. But unfortunately, the family members of those involved chose not to do that. So, as I stated before, at 4 o'clock in the morning, they get a knock on their door and somebody goes to jail. I want to begin with the video of inside the mall that happened that day. I want you to watch that mom. That is a mom right there. That is a mother. You saw her very quickly lay her child down and cover her child up as bullets were flying over her. If there's ever a definition of someone who is truly a parent and a mom, it's that one right there. Now, the next photograph is someone who's not a mom, someone who's got kids, but I would not define her as a mom. This is Erica Edmonds. Her 2 sons were 2 of them that were involved in the shootout. She knew what they did. She assisted them. She did not call us. She did not reach out for help from anyone. She just continued to let her 2 sons stay free until we get them. And we did get one of them this morning, and we're looking for the second one. Both of her sons have been in trouble numerous times. This is not the very first time that they've ever been involved in anything. They've just been on a rampage quite some time in Richland County and also out of Richland County, in other areas, just committing all types of crimes, carrying guns, shooting. They didn't care. If you go back and you look at the video of the 3 that were in the store where the real mom was at, you would have seen just how they did not care where they were shooting. So this morning, we locked up one of our sons who's 16 years old. I cannot give you his name and I cannot show you a picture of him. He's 16, but he's just a little hoodlum. He's run wild, and she's allowed him to do that. You can see that he's charged with attempted murder. He was one of the shooters that was in there that day. He is currently being detained at DJJ, where I hope he stays, because if he gets out, like he's done in the past, when he gets out, he just gets right back into doing something. And we do not need innocent people killed like that mom and that baby could have killed. And we're also looking for 3 more. This is his brother. This is Miss Edmonds' other son. This is Kyron. He's 19 years old. He's a little hoodlum too, who has a very lengthy record, who also had an ankle monitor on which he cut off. We talk about ankle monitors, and I think people get this false impression that ankle monitors prevents crime. It doesn't. It doesn't prevent crime, and it doesn't prevent them from cutting it off. We are currently looking for him. As you can see, he's wanted for attempted murder, possession of a weapon, doing a violent crime. So he is somewhere in our community. So I'm asking the community to give us some help, because his family sure didn't. But we're asking the community to give us that call to where he's at. We're also looking for Jabari Cornelius. He's also charged with attempted murder. He was in the store too. He was another one with the gun. These are the 3 that had guns, 2 brothers, and this one had the gun. These are the one to shoot him. We're looking for him. He's also in the Columbia area. Next one we're looking for is Gabriel Davis. He was not in the mall, but he was involved, so we have warrants on him for accessory after the fact of a felony. Which is interesting about him, his prior history includes pointing and presenting the firearm, possession of a stolen pistol, failure to stop, blue light siren. He is currently out on bond for pointing and presenting possession of a stolen pistol. He was released on January 25 on a PR bond. Now, stolen gun, pointing a gun at somebody, he gets a personal recognizance bond, which means you don't have to do nothing but sign your name to a piece of paper. And now he's involved in the mall shooting. This is what we're dealing with in this community. These are the ones that are out here that are doing the shooting, that's taking people's lives, endangering other people's lives. So asking the community to help us get those 3 that we're looking for. Go back to the video of the mom, please. I want everybody to watch this. I want everybody in the community to watch this one more time. I want you to see the danger that mom and her child was placed in. I don't care if you're a citizen or if you're someone who's out here committing crimes. That ought to make you mad. That could have been your mom. That could have been your sister. That could have been your child there. That these 3 had absolutely no regard for their life whatsoever. That ought to make you mad enough to turn them in, tell us where they're at. All you got to do is make that phone call. Call Crime Stoppers, call us. Just let us know where they're at. They're in our community. They're hiding. And whatever rock they're hiding under, we're going to find them. That's a promise I stand up here and make, that it may take us a little while, but we're going to find you and we're going to lock you up. And what happens to you after that, I can't say. I don't control the bond system. I don't control the court system. What I do control, though, is the fact that we got some great investigators. We got great community who works with us, and we get these bad people identified and we get them arrested. So, hopefully somebody out there in our community is going to drop a dime on 1, 2, or all 3 of these guys so we can put them in jail exactly where they need to be. Questions?
There was one more person on the screen there, Sheriff, towards the end. Was that person attached to the Columbia?
That was the one at the end. That was the first one we arrested.
Okay.
That was Team A. He was by himself. He's Team A. He was the first one that we arrested. I'm sorry. And then the other 3 were on Team B. We arrested him earlier, but so we've arrested 2 so far. 2 more that was involved in the actual shooting, 1 that helped out after the shooting.
So, Sheriff, one question that comes to mind now that you kind of have it dispersed as Team A, Team B, is there any more narrative as to what led up, or any more details in the narrative we already have as far as what led up to the shooting?
People not liking each other. I mean, it don't take a whole lot. Just some people don't like each other who's on different teams. Pretty much it. And then, again, the man who got shot in the mall had nothing to do with this. He's not part of Team A, Team B. He was just a shopper. Just got hit by a stray bullet. The mom and the baby, they didn't have anything to do with it either. That just shows they don't care. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 bullets that were fired. Lots of rounds were fired. We put the video out earlier, the first press conference that showed the shooting, how one of them had a long gun, the other ones had pistols. Numerous shots being fired. We just, again, grace of God, we don't have more people killed in these shootings.
One question that comes to mind as well, Sheriff, is as it pertains to their bonding. Chiron was bonded out on an ankle monitor. Were these nonviolent crimes that they had committed in the past? You said they had.
No, they're involved in violent crimes.
All of them were violent?
Yeah, these are violent crimes that these young people are involved in. They're carrying guns. Common denominator, they all got guns.
Cases around the Midlands, what's your position on monitor release and just how it kind of can have some missteps in these scenarios?
It's not working. They're not monitored. Somebody violates the conditions of the ankle monitor. Nobody's reporting them and they're not being picked up. So again, I don't think they're preventing anything. They cut them off. Probably about the only thing the ankle monitor does is help us put bad guys in certain areas when crimes are committed. But I haven't seen how it is prevented. Probably not much at all is it prevented. We see it a lot. Someone with an ankle monitor that commits a crime, or somebody who has one and has cut it off and commit crimes. I mean, just like just like he did. He cut it off. He could care less about that ankle monitor. That's the least of his worries when you run around here shooting at people.
You know, I asked that because you talk about jail overcrowding around the Midlands, and that's an issue. Some of that was used as a caveat to that. What would be the solution if they aren't working, in your eyes?
Well, the solution is if you don't want to have overcrowding and you don't want to go to Alvin S. Glenn, don't commit a crime. I mean, that's simple. You know, so we're going to jeopardize the safety of our community because we got 2 or 3 people that are staying in one cell. They're criminals. They broke the law. That's why they're there. You know, jail conditions are bad. If you don't want to suffer those jail conditions, don't commit a crime. And so the excuse that, well, you know, that Alvin S. Glenn's a bad place, we don't want to put people in there, we won't let them in our community. What that's doing is just like that mom who had to live in terror for those few seconds those gunshots were going over her. I don't think she cared too much about anybody being overcrowded in any jail anywhere. So I don't buy that. I don't buy it. I don't go with it.
Did the mom have a criminal history? I meant to ask that as
I don't know. Use that word very loosely, that she's a mom. Her sons have been running wild for quite some time now, and she knows about it. You know, she condones it. If she didn't condone it, she'd have done something a long time ago to get help, to keep them from victimizing this community. And they've really victimized this community a lot over the years. Their names are well known in a lot of different areas for what they've been doing. All right. Thank y'all.